discriminatory against other groups, and that's what we saw. Hence, we're now saying what we're going to do, basically, I guess what we call reverse racism, which I just call racism, is say now we're going to target other groups as opposed to what they did back then. The principle doesn't change; it's the same. If you target a demographic based on race or gender, it's a form of discrimination. I know you. When you say in DEI they're targeting certain demographics based on innate characteristics such as your gender, your sex, that's discriminatory.
Yeah, it's not. No, it's not. It is.
Whoa, talk.
Excuse me.
It's not discriminatory. Hold on.
Define discrimination.
Yes, have it. Yes, we can. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it right now.
And tell me,
because I think everybody understands what this means.
If opening up your talent pool to diversity is an act of discrimination. Get the fuck out of here! Like that's the opposite of.
Yes, it is. Just because you're doing it, just because you're doing it to the group you like doesn't mean it's not discriminatory. That's still what it is.
It's not one group.
It don't matter how many groups. If you exclude any group, it's still discriminatory.
What is the opposite of diversity, Fred?
I know what diversity is. That's why we don't like it. That's the whole point. I get it. You're trying to get something outside of. I get it. Something that's different, diverse. Yes.
What is the opposite?
I get what you're saying. King, I get what you're saying. We got it.
Diversity. Can you answer?
You gonna keep asking the question? Yes, I can answer the question.
Okay, answer it.
Diversity.
No, we understand.
Highest goal. It's not the highest goal to achieve.
Free. What is the opposite of diversity?
That's the fourth time. You want to ask it again?
You haven't answered. Like, what is wrong?
I do. Because I don't need to. Because we get it. That ain't the point. We get it. You're gonna ask me again. I'll tell you we get it. I don't need to answer it because we get the fucking point. We don't need to do that. No, it's not a C. It's trivial. Yes, call it what you want to, but you're being stupid, acting like discrimination is not discrimination.
That's low.
But you're acting like this. Yeah, I know. It's the irony of this. I want you to understand what you say don't mean anything to me because I don't consider you smart. So it doesn't mean anything to me for you to think I'm low IQ. Because if I am low IQ, you're lower than me because you don't know what discriminatory means. You don't know that you're actually preaching it. Because the group that you like is being favored in this situation, so you don't want to call it discriminatory because the groups you favor is being benefited.
Tell me what the opposite of discriminatory is.
It's trivial. This is called obfuscation. You're gonna do this, and we're gonna go somewhere else. That's why she wants you to do the stupid shit. We get the point. We get it.
Yeah.
No, it's not bullshit. The bullshit is you trying to go somewhere else, supposed to stick to the point. That's why she wants to do this.
It's a nice thing, but it's not the highest goal.
And yell instead of answer the fucking question.
No, we're sticking to a point. You wanna ask that question because you want to go somewhere else, and this is what you do when you guys do when you have an argument. No. Yeah, you're right. I could exactly, but there's no need to because we're going somewhere we don't need to go. Marshall, go ahead, Marshall, because we're not going nowhere with this idiot.
Hey, King, just got back into my truck. I just cleaned it. What's going on?
What's the opposite of discrimination?
That's if it fucking matters. Please answer it, because this is going to go nowhere.
The antonym of discrimination, I guess, would be empowered. If I'm thinking, the antonym would be empowered, but I have to look that up to double check.
The opposite of discrimination.
Preference.
Right. Okay. The opposite is a preference. Okay. What else?
What's your new preference?
She's trying to get you to say equality.
No, the opposite of discrimination is exclusion. It's segregation. Stupid.
No. That's what you're doing, though, dummy. When you prefer one group over the other, that's what you're doing, you idiot.
No, it's not.
That literally is. You're saying I'm going to target this group and not that group. You're discriminating, dummy.
What did you get in language arts?
It doesn't matter, idiot. Stick to the point. That's why you keep asking these dumbass questions. Stick to the point. No. What do you get in comprehension? Because you can't. We're good. Let's not talk to each other. But y'all see how stupid she is. She's trying to act like discrimination is not discrimination because it favors the group she likes. Okay, good. Yes, like you fucking know me. Like I don't know you, and I don't care about your history either. Because I'm not gonna appeal to your history because this conversation wouldn't matter, and you're too fucking stupid to have it. Let's have this conversation, not about my history or your history. Let's have this conversation. You're too fucking stupid to have it, and that's why DEI sucks. None of your fucking business. How about that?
Yeah.
None of your fucking business. How about that?
I don't know.
Look that up. Look up none of your fucking business.
Maybe because
go Google none of your fucking business and see what that is for a living.
Well, King, the problem is though is that if you have okay, so DEI or affirmative action in a way gives a preference.
DEI is
which is, for example, hold on.
Don't conflate the two because they're not the same.
Okay, sure. And that's why 90+% of the fucking jobs post pandemic ended up going to minorities.
Where's your evidence of that?
Okay, I don't know about any of that, bro.
Yeah, that's definitely not true.
All right,
I did look this. Hold on. I did look up the synonyms and antonyms to the word discriminate. So we might have a more honest conversation about it. So synonyms to discriminate are differentiate, distinguish, difference, discern, separate, discern, understand, know, comprehend, contradistinguish. Well, I've never heard that one before. Divide, sever, set off, demarcate, mark off, grasp, or part. The antonyms to the word discriminate are confuse, mix up, mistake, lump together, confound, and mingle. These come from the Merriam-Webster dictionary. If anybody prefers the Oxford English, just let me know and I'll look it up.
So what about the context of discrimination, racial discrimination? Because I don't think these people are intelligent enough to like draw what I'm trying to say.
Hey.
I wasn't talking to you, Brad. I wasn't dissing you. I wasn't talking to you. I wasn't dissing you. So you don't have to get hyped on me.
I'm not dissing. I'm not. Like, let's tone it down a bit. I allowed it to go. I was doing something else, but trying to figure out how to work a fucking crock pot. But
you still struggling with that, Brad?
Fuck yeah, burnt one.
Marshall, ask ChatGPT what the opposite of racial discrimination is.
It'd be racial inclusion, I'm guessing.
It would be racial preference. The opposite of discrimination is preference.
Thank you, Devin.
But what's the point?
Y'all still arguing?
Racial.
Yeah, I've been waiting for her to grab us on.
Wait a minute. The opposite of discrimination is
I'm pro DI, by the way. She agreed. Preference.
Wait a minute. No. I did not realize. And see what? Because he says the shit. It's what facts.
But no, the opposite.
No, I'm just trying to push this forward so you can make your point so we can move forward. You keep asking this question.
The opposite of
we could have been done by this.
So, like, for example, when they said
Marshall will tell us.
King, I did look it up on ChatGPT or my ChatGPT. I don't know how accurate this is because you have to check ChatGPT. Good question. Since racial discrimination means treating people unfairly or unequally based on race, its antonyms would be words or phrases that capture fairness, like equality and respect across races. Some possible antonyms include racial equality, racial equity, racial justice, inclusion, diversity, partiality, fairness, tolerance, acceptance, and human solidarity. In the strict word antonym sense, equality or fairness are closest to the practice. People often use racial equality, equity, or justice as true opposites.
But there's not an actual.
That's what ChatGPT says. We have.
That is it.
No. Hold on.
God damn it.
We have the meaning from Merriam-Webster, and we have what ChatGPT says too, as ways to discuss that.
I got an idea. Why don't we just use the English language instead of trying to define the words?
Not the synonym. So can you give the synonym to racial discrimination?
Why are we playing this fucking game? Equality?
Thank you.
Because we can't have
Why are we doing this stupid shit?
Jesus Christ, is that much King?
Conversation if y'all
King, shut the fuck up and let me finish. I'm a goddamn mod. Will you shut up? Jesus Christ. No, okay. Having racial equality, for example, would be having the neutral stance. Okay. Me only hiring white people and telling my hiring managers to only hire white people would be an example. It would be the opposite. I have a preference for my own, and it's exclusionary group. It's in other words, there's two sides. One gets the preference, one gets the exclusion. The opposite is the person that's getting preferred. equality would just be neutrality. In other words, you don't have a preference or
The
exclusion for
opposite
either
of
group.
exclusion is inclusion. Thank you.
What a fucking
doesn't-
LGBTQ world is this
Doesn't
discussion about?
discount what I said.
Yeah, she said discrimination at first. Now she said, yeah, but this is stupid. Just get to your fucking point, King. We've been doing this for like 10 minutes.
The English language is not a mystery. You guys can twist and turn all you want, but it's very clear. The shit is not a mystery. If you refuse to accept it because you don't like it, that's personal.
You still haven't made your point yet, King. We've been on this for 10 fucking minutes. You haven't made a point. What's your fucking point, King? Please.
And you still didn't answer the question, so.
I did. I said a long time ago when you were trying to get other people to answer. I told you want to say, okay, well, it was not a good point. All right, let's move forward.
The opposite of exclusion.
No, the opposite. No, what affirmative action in DEI was preference for dark people, and it is opposed to preference for white people. Literally, it's literally swinging the fucking pendulum in the opposite fucking direction.
That's not true. That's not true.
Also, other groups, basically non-whites and women, essentially.
King, is diversity the highest priority?
DEI applies also to veterans.
Yes, I do say that we get it. Yeah.
Let me ask you this,
Correct.
King, is diversity the highest priority? Is that the most important thing, diversity?
For the left, yes, it is. For them, they don't give a shit about anything else. As long as it's not white, that's all they care about.
We do not care about DEI. We do not care.
Joby, how many vaccines did you take?
Devin.
Yes.
Devin,
Yes.
do you believe in the free market?
The free market.
Oh, we did. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did that. I'm really getting a headache from this. I mean, either we make a point
Your
and
core
move on, or
values. I'm talking about an organization.
Mom is talking. Mom's talking. She muted
What
her.
you're doing is changing the topic.
Okay.
No, I'm not, because you're.
Guys, the mod is talking. Goddamn.
Hey, there shouldn't be anybody talking when Patricia's talking. Period. Like, she is one of the four horsemen of this entire club. Let her finish. Then you guys can go.
Yeah, I just want you to make your point, King, and let's just move on from it, because we're not going to come to an agreement. You and Free are at the opposite ends of what the point of this is. So please make your final points, and if we could move on with the conversation, great.
Like what you don't like, but make sure it's based on facts. Otherwise, you're fucking crazy. You're responding emotionally.
No, you're responding emotionally with your fucking watermelon logic, and it's fucking obnoxious. The reason why people are against DEI is they have to put up with black girl magic from people like you.
What do you do for a living, John? Genius. Mr. High IQ.
I fire black people for a living. How's that fucking sound?
Yeah, I doubt that very much. You probably got your GED.
Okay, but you're taking a little too long on your break to scream in your big mic. So why don't you go back to work before you get fired?
How do we get a great America? Do we get a great
no
America?
longer funding Israel.
Y'all don't want a great America. That's how.
I ask you, it's a hypothetical
No longer
question.
funding Israel. That would help.
It's just
That
a
would be
thought
amazing.
experiment. How do we get a great America? By aiming for diversity or by aiming for greatness, merit,
Aiming missiles at
high
Israel.
quality achievements?
But that's what diversity was supposed to be for. It was supposed to be a merit-based logic, and it turned into something else, which is why I left the industry a decade ago. I did want to say this, right? Because in every room, there's people always talking about how diversity is this quote-unquote black thing, and that's just the most untrue thing. It is a white woman and a white LGBTQ. Those are the two biggest beneficiaries of diversity, both in finance and in the tech industry. This whole color conundrum where you're now starting to see black faces in the DEI space is primarily black women, and that's because there's some benefits that depending on your institution, there's some benefits that you can get from being quote unquote a double or triple minority. Diversity today basically means anybody but a heterosexual white male that is not in the military or has disability.
Well, these things also vary by field.
But diversity includes everybody except for those people.
And I find it.
I mean, in technology, maybe it is white people. I have no idea. But there's all different fields where people excel. In individual fields, Oriental people might excel. Women might excel in another field. Gay people might excel in another field. Maybe Jewish people excel in a certain field. I don't know. Whatever it is, if it's based on meritocracy, that makes for a great America.
That's how it started. Like that was the initial intent, and it has dwelled into something else, which I do not agree with. But the initial intent about diversity was merit, and today what it's become is something different.
I mean, don't you guys? I mean, I even think like the some groups do better than others in the United States. It's, you know, statistically this all bears out, and I don't. There's no real way you can try to, I don't know. I guess try to even quote unquote even things out so people are equally as educated and equally have as much money, if you know, from the different groups, without, you know, you basically, I guess you could say, abusing and taking advantage of not taking advantage, how do I put it, like you'd have to have almost like an actual communist fucking country.
I don't think anybody's asked for equality in money, though. I think just opportunity is all. That's it. I think that's the goal, just equal opportunities to get a shot. That's it.
Well, can I ask you a question then?
Go.
Why? So New York City, more than half of the children, the Chinese children, live below the poverty line. I learned this a couple of years ago. Yet they still outperform every other ethnic or racial group in New York City, including black kids, obviously.
Do you think it's that we're genetically predisposed to performances?
Well, I think I do know that culturally they spend even the poor Chinese kids, they spend far more hours studying than you know, native born Americans. So I would say, are black children or white children in New York City, for example, not being given the same opportunities, or do they have a shittier culture when it comes to education in comparison to these Chinese kids?
Culture, 100%.
It's culture, 100%. There's a New York Times best-selling book called Tiger Mom, and it's an Asian woman author that wrote about immigrants and parenting, and listed 8 immigrant groups that have almost I don't want to say, they have a very, very intense culture as it relates to education in America. And this is a reason why people from those immigrant groups tend to excel in a capitalistic market or the United States of America. But the book Tiger Mom goes into it. It's called The Immigrant Advantage. And it's really between the nationalized newer Americans and that first generation. But studies show by the third generation of that same family, they tend to have the same results as a average everyday American. So to me, what that signals is that over time, people become completely matriculated into that culture, and some of their outcomes are very similar with everyday Americans. But that sort of immigrant advantage disappears within 2 to 3 generations.
But I guess so. Yeah, I mean, that I don't know that data, so I'll take your word for it. But is it I wouldn't call it lack of equality. If you know, I don't think there's anything we as a country can do when it comes to how people raise their children. And of course, I don't think all parents are really equipped to be good parents, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I mean, you can offer the schools and stuff, but if the kids aren't being made to study and aren't being pushed by their parents, I think it's just...
That's the cultural. That's a cultural issue.
Yeah, but how do you change that culture? Like, that's the thing, is I don't know how do you change the culture for an everyday boy living in rural Nebraska or I don't know, anywhere in the fucking country compared to, like, you know, these smaller, dense Chinese communities in New York City. I don't think you can do that.
I think
Even really. Oh, go ahead. Whoever was talking.
Yeah, I think you can. It's going to take a lot of effort and time. And the issue is that, I don't think people as adults, we want to give up the pleasures because all the shit that the kids do that kind of distract them from being disciplined, ambitious, and smart is the same shit we do as adults. We like playing games, gambling, drinking, being on the internet, spending countless time doing nothing, essentially. And we have to take the initiative to kind of change our society for the youth in order for them to start following the path that we set. Because the only reason we got here is because we let ourselves get here. So we have to start with us to change that, essentially. Go ahead.
And I did want to say this one thing about the conflation of diversity and affirmative action. If you Google right now, and I'm not saying this to be sarcastic or sound like a smartass, I'm just saying to get some actual factual knowledge, is the quote-unquote affirmative action has been banned by the state of California since 1996, right? So anybody alive today that has gone through the college system, unless you graduated before 1996, you're not a quote affirmative action or diversity hire, right? Because people like conflating the two. It's been banned since 1996, right? Thomas Sowell has a book where he talks about the challenges of affirmative action, him being a Stanford professor and him teaching all over, being a professor all over the United States. He talks about the challenges and why it's wrong, right? And so I agree with a lot of his points. If you put somebody who is not at the same level or at the same standard of excellence in a space where there is that standard, then you're setting that student up for failure, right? But I did want to clear, affirmative action is not a California-based thing. It's more of an East Coast, Midwest, Southern thing. But California put a ban to that a long time ago. And when I was hearing all these changes as somebody that has worked decades in the D&I industry, and it really wasn't even an industry until after George Floyd. It really was not. It was a low-paying job. It was a job where you really were a cog of HR. It wasn't a big deal for Black folks until George Floyd, right? But Black folks have somehow been labeled with this affirmative action and this diversity thing, where it doesn't matter if you're talking about university hiring, it doesn't matter if you're talking about government hiring, it doesn't matter if you're talking about the private sector hiring. The biggest beneficiary of any affirmative action and diversity, equity, inclusion initiative, number one, white women, number two, white LGBTQ, and number three is white veterans or veterans in general. Those are the biggest beneficiaries. Black people just got blamed for it, like the quote unquote, remember the welfare queen from back in the day? I think it was Reagan that went on this thing about this welfare queen, and it was this Black woman. You can Google this because Google and ChatGPT is free. That woman was an Italian woman cosplaying as a Black woman. The welfare queen, that whole welfare queen campaign, that was an Italian woman cosplaying as a Black woman. That wasn't even a Black woman. So in the history of America, when it comes to DEI, when it comes to affirmative action, it's only been branded as this Black initiative. But when you look at the data, you'll find that Black people are the least to benefit from any of these initiatives. And it's just a statistical thing. When you look at it, there are more white women in America. There are more white LGBTQ or LGBTQ in America. Black people got beat up for all this stuff, but they did not benefit in the same ways that other groups did. And I land my plane.
Yeah. So I would take it you're not making an argument that we shouldn't have it because of that, right? And I'm not for the DI, but I'm just a yes or no real quick. AC.
You said what?
I'm not taking that you say we shouldn't have DEI because it benefits the least, right?
We should not have this version of DEI. We should not have this version. The DEI that my father built, the DEI that I built was based on merit, not based on what we're seeing here today.
So when you say based on merit, because it's kind of changed things up, give me a quick example if you could. What do you mean? Just who performs the best, who has the best outcome?
Right. So again, there are certain metrics that depending on the organization you work for, you look at when it comes to making a hiring decision. The interview is a part of that. If it's more of a new hire, you're going to look at education and grades. But as if you're more of a mid-level management, you'll look at experiences and title. And if you can quantify the actual performance, you'll look at those metrics as well. And so what I've seen, and you can Google this yourself, is what I've seen is particularly in the finance banking industry, like JP Morgan, a company that I used to work for, is there was no way that you could justify hiring a quote unquote, it doesn't even have to be a black person. It could have been a woman. It could have been an LGBTQ. It could have been a black person. There's no way that you could use our metrics and our hiring standards to hire this person over this person. So how is it that they got the job over X candidate, right? And so the actual CEO, Jamie Dimon, came out and said, hey, we looked at the data ourselves. This was we didn't hire a third party. We looked at the hiring data ourselves, and we did find that there was some discrepancy, there was some discrimination, and so we're going to work internally to fix that. But we want to let the public know that we did our own due diligence, and we found out ourselves that we do have discriminatory practices based on our own metrics that we set forward. And this happened maybe 5 to 8 years ago. Jamie Dimon did a public press conference and released an article saying, like, no, we do have discriminatory practices, and it wasn't based on any particular race, gender, or sexual orientation. We're just saying that, hey, you can't justify hiring this person based on the score that this candidate got. All we're asking is, how did this person get this job over this person?
Hey, Casey, I have a question for you. Hey, Free, can I?
Oh yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
So one of the things that I've noticed, I spend a good amount of time on Clubhouse just to relax a little bit and listen to both sides. Though I'm a person of color and lean right, when I go into most of the rooms, especially the politically correct room, where majority of the population is black folks, why do they make this whole movement about everything is going anti-black? And they there are some coincidences, like for example, like where he was talking about sending National Guards and military to all these bigger blue cities, especially like Los Angeles, Illinois, and New York and whatnot. So why does, like, there's a problem that we see. I mean, as a resident of California, I see the problem. There are places in Oakland and Compton that are in some parts of LA that are not very safe. Yes, they are populated with black people, but that doesn't mean that he's targeting only these specific black-dominated cities. But he's talking about cities in general, like LA. So LA is very diversified, and it has nothing to do just with black people. But somehow Democrats and the people on the left spin it in a whole different way. And I try hard to listen and understand their point of view, because they always tell me that this is targeting black people, and I have a hard time understanding why it is.
As someone born in Berkeley and raised in Oakland, California is only a city like Oakland or LA is only branded as black. There's not very much black people here anymore. They've all been gentrified out to the south. And so I don't know. I don't speak for all black people, but I will say this is, within these conversations, whether it's cultural wars, whether it's conversations about DEI or affirmative action, black folks have just been branded. Like, again, California does not have many black people. Black people are actually retreating to the south. Cities like Oakland and LA are no longer quote unquote black cities, even though they have a significant population. There's more white people here in Oakland. There's more Mexican people here in Oakland. San Francisco is actually, after white people, is Chinese or Asian people that dominate the population. So there is no quote unquote black city on the West Coast anywhere, actually.
But somehow Democrat and the left party is able to spin it against, this whole thing is about targeting black people. I see, that's the part that I not understand, even no matter how much I explain about the situation in LA.
Because some people want to sow dissension you sow dissension in a society. You pit people against other people, and many people from various areas of society wish to deploy dissension for their own purposes. It's political on any level. Even when it's purely social, it's political. It's trying to get your point across. I don't think I made myself too clear, but whenever you invoke identity, you are trying to sow dissension. Dissension is when people are against one another. I think I'd have to look up the word.
So do you think is it because the political party, whether it's left or right, are not like being able to give the right tools for people of minority to succeed? Is that's why they have to come across these kind of different programs and agendas and make it part of the campaign for them to get the visibility into and consideration into the society? Like, where is the political party failing? Like, I mean, I'm not talking specifically the Trump's administration, but even if you were to look back at the previous administrations, where have they failed? Like, in terms of empowerment, California has the most amount of programs to help no matter whoever you are. I mean, they're okay to bankrupt themselves to the last penny, but they just want to give money and help people. But I still don't see any progress, and that has costed the taxpayers in California so much, and we're so frustrated with so many initiatives happening around with no results, and that's what is actually making a lot of us in California who work, who contribute to society and try to make an impact, to lean right, because the left has shown nothing but no results.
Yeah. So, Hokie, I agree with you in so many different ways. I used to be a staunch Democrat that voted Democrat for forever, and then recently, by recently I mean the past 8 years, I've become independent, and I only vote based on policy. There's no loyalty to any party. It's kind of like being a political prostitute, where you go back and forth based on the proposed policies. You're going to make a vote based on that, and not necessarily a party. I think the Democratic Party has failed, particularly Black people, in many ways, but I'm just going to make a overarching theme. I feel like the Democratic Party caters to the emotions in people. They would like a emotional reaction that will secure votes for them. And so I feel in many ways that the Democratic Party has failed Black people and Californians. And even if you look at the last election in terms of policies on crime, like I remember there was a policy, if you stole something from somebody, but it was less than $1,800 or something, and they couldn't really do anything. I think policies like that have crippled Californians. And from a policy standpoint, if you look at how Californians have voted, just from a state policy, it was much more conservative than it's ever been. And I see that as a key performance indicator to the Democratic Party. Like, hey, maybe we've gone a little bit too far left, and we have to move a little bit more in the middle in order to gain some voters back. The reality is, I think that this is how I view politics, is a way that all Black people should view politics, because there is no party necessarily for us. It's just like, which one is better than the other. So for me, again, it just comes down to what the candidate, whether it's at the state level, the local level, or the national level, what they're proposing, and voting based on that. Because the Democratic Party, as it's been, has been something that is an emotional jerker. They want you to vote based off emotions instead of logic.
Joe B., did you want to add to the conversation?
No, I'm just enjoying the bullshit in the bank channel, but thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Brad has stepped away for a phone call, and so I don't know how much longer he's going to be, but I think I'm going to shut it down because you guys are getting a little too spicy in the chat there, and we all have lives and other things to do. So thank you for coming back to the Political Compass. We're going to be running more rooms a bit more often when schedules permit. If Brad is available later today, we might open something back up. But for now, thank you for coming, and we will see you again.
Okay, so first of all, okay, see, I will give you, hold on, you guys, hold on, because this might be C's last time in this room. See, I don't know what's wrong, and I think maybe you should talk to your physician about adjusting your medication. And I'm not saying this to be mean, but before you came in here, I gave you nothing but praise. As a matter of fact, see, to make sure they came back, because I was going to reach out to you so you can come in here and talk about the stable coins against everybody. If you don't have any interest, then don't come. See, seriously, you're to me, I'm talking to now a person who is not even a fucking adult, is a child. No one put your finger on the button and press 420. Nobody. You chose to come in here, and I'm only telling you this because this might be your fucking last time, and I know you don't care.
It is her last time. It is.
Yeah, because I'm the one telling everybody that you had a very good presentation on Saturday about the stable coin, that you were very intelligent, you had all this information, and I wanted you to present it to the room. And then you stumble in here at 3 o'clock in the morning and try to tell me about how my room is a piece of shit. Well, you know, I agree with you, for even allowing this conversation to happen between you and me.
Lisa,
I'm a piece of shit.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the club let out, and she stumbled out who she is because didn't nobody take her home or take her to the Waffle House, so she up in here crying, you know.
Okay.
You can't say
I'll have to fix that.
You can't say mama. You're not Captain Save-A.
Nice.
You are not Captain Save-A.
I tried.
Trump needs to go after these black cities. They're horrible.
Hey, Joe.
Horrible.
Hey, girl, you're right in the middle of one. So. Yeah, I mean, that's retarded that you would say that about your own people. So there's a lot of self-hatred going on. I understand it. I don't appreciate it, but I understand there's a lot of self-hatred. It's like me going into a white room. Yeah, these niggas need to be hung. I don't understand it, but you do, and that's all that matters, okay? So whatever sickness you're suffering for, I got somebody for you. I'll give you a recommendation so you can go get help. But see, I told you about these black men. They come into here and they say the craziest, stupid-ass shit about their own people, about their own communities. Just crazy.
Ain't no such thing as a black community. It's horrible.
It's not such thing as a black community. There's no such thing as a black community. Okay, there's no such thing as upstanding black men then. And you're part of the problem.
I'm saying is, well,
and you're part of the problem.
Let me say this.
You're part of the problem. You're the black men that we need to exterminate. You're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. So you and your family don't live in a black community. You and your family, all of them. All 12.
Don't do black. Black is a problem.
Okay, so you black. You got a get out of jail free card?
Listen.
You black.
Let me break this down to you.
You black. You don't have to break shit down.
I know you're triggered.
You don't have
because it's poverty.
That is so disgusting. That is so disgusting that you got.
We know Chicago is hell. We know DC is hell. We know.
You're hell. Where you live? 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 I don't want to live. Where you live? Where you live? Where you live? Where you live? So if you don't live in no city, shut the fuck up.
I've been in major cities.
Oh yeah.
I do. I'm being honest, but if you don't want to have dialogue,
you're a provocateur, and you.
A little bit, but if you let me finish, I'll break it down to you. But
I don't know. It's 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. Nobody want to hear you coming here.
But isn't that your topic? Trump on black cities. I'm telling you, it needs it.
No, it doesn't need it.
It does.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You're the problem.
I've been in all neighborhoods. I know how to get down.
You guys need to exterminate people like him. If you guys want to shoot people, this is exactly who you're
No, you want to keep the criminals so they can get your president.
But you're a criminal. You're a criminal to our community.
Tell me how.
You are.
Tell me how.
Okay, you coming in here and
saying that makes me a criminal.
You can possibly think of. You are the enemy.
Listen, you can't write up the enemy.
You're gonna say that?
Lock them niggas up.
Oh, and lock
take away the black bitches, EBTs, and they Section 8.
Hey, first of all, y'all need to exterminate right here. This is the kind of niggas.
No, I'm not a nigga.
So we were You are.
Y'all fighting to maintain nigga.
Well, here's the deal. You're fighting to maintain.
That's right. Niggas love nigga shit. Don't matter. Your time is up. Keep this is no more Section 8. You're about to lose your housing. You're about to lose your house.
Relax. Take your tap shoes off and relax.
You can't keep that fella no more.
You are the kind of people that need to be exterminated.
You're going to get kicked out your apartment.
You dumbass nigga. I don't live in an apartment. Go
you got Section 8. I know a Section 8 chick when I
live in a fucking apartment.
Don't let that trigger you up.
He's crazy. I'm just trying to show you his fucking ignorance. Now he called me a bitch. Then he tells me I live in an apartment. Nigga, that's the bitches you dealing with.
I didn't call you a bitch. I called you a color out.
Yes, you did.
All right, so is we done or is we done?
Okay, so
yeah. Nobody else sent me a time, so yeah, it's a wrap.
That was very painful. That was very painful to hear. That was way too early in the morning for somebody to come in literally and start calling me bitches at 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh God. Yeah, if he was baiting me, Quinn, he succeeded. That's really early in the morning. I don't even know if I'm coming or going. My hair was plaited down. I had my pajamas. Shit. I don't know. But I invited him to come back so I could apologize for my behavior. So I invited him to come back.
Well, I don't know if that's the one. Hey, man, boy, if that was the reason for the conversation or what we were supposed to be listening to. Y'all was all hyped. Yeah, you gotta listen to it.
No, y'all need to listen to Culturally, because she was on fire. I don't know what happened, because by that time I was already in the tub, but I could hear Culturally. What's his name? Culturally, Just. Y'all need to listen to Just and Matt if you guys want content, because Just and Matt, I don't even know who they were talking. Oh, you know who they were talking to? Who was it? Maya was it Ion or was it somebody else? I didn't even know it was Ion. Okay, yeah, I don't know, but that was crazy.
All right, would y'all sleep? Y'all done? I wasn't gonna say that, doctor. Yeah.
Let me get my phone. I just want to say something real quick. Can I say something real quick?
I gotta take a nap.
Can I say something real fast, please?
Yes, Brooklyn. Gone to say.
But you were there too. You were wilding out too. Y'all go get Brooklyn. She was wilding out from.
I'm gonna tell you this though, Lisa, because this is for you, okay? Now, take a seat. If you decide that it's in your best interest to apologize to that nigga for that, something wrong. Like this is like victim. This is like when victims like keep getting victimized, knowing that they victims. You can't let these people do that to you. He called you everything but a child of God, and you was about to. You going to apologize? You bet not. Don't apologize to him for that.
I think I called him a nigga first, right?
He designed, and he thought like a nigga. He thought like one. It was well deserved. Believe that. You do not apologize for that, because the coonetry of the whole situation was some bullshit. Like the nerve of him to come up there and say any of those things that he said from the get-go. Yes, he was a nigga, big nigga energy too. And he could be from any country, any color. At this point, he was on some bullshit. So please don't apologize to him for that. Don't. If you ever decide that you want to apologize to people for telling them about themselves, contact me first, because I'm going to tell you not to do it. You don't never apologize to niggas like that, ever.
But you guys must know him, because Dap came
I don't even know him. I don't even know who that was, but that besides the point, they all trolls at the end of the day.
Because Dap came in my Brooklyn, came in my back channel, and I don't know if he wanted what he wanted from me, but he said that, I know him, he's a nice guy, he was just trolling you. I said, well, he called me a black bitch. I mean, what do you want me to do with that? And he goes, but he's black Hispanic. I was like, okay. What? But he was just in there trolling you, just having fun. I'm like, no, I don't do that.
Yeah, I don't even play with people like that, though. Don't play with me like that. These is grown people, adults. Okay? Like, I only take for so much of the bullshit, either. This is why some of them, they know, my patience get real low. You are grown adult men and women, you know what I'm saying? Y'all need to start acting like it. I'm not taking no fucking